Hey guys, today I'm going to be ranking the top 10 best RPG games of all time. I'm going to be ranking these games and how enjoyable they are and how the RPG elements complement them. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so number 10 I have Horizon Zero Dawn. In this game, you play in the post-apocalypse as Aloy, and you have to fight robot dinosaurs. Now, as you would imagine, taking down the robot dinosaurs are some of, if not the most fun part of the whole game. It's mostly because you can't just brute force your way through it, you have to actually be strategic and target waypoints and stuff like that. As you progress through the game, you expand your arsenal, but the dinosaurs also get better. This means you have to constantly adapt and be on your toes. Not to mention, this game's story is actually really good, probably better than you think. Human combat is fun, but definitely the highlight of this game is defeating robot dinosaurs. So yeah, that's why I put Horizon Zero Dawn at the number 10 spot. It's a great RPG and a great game to boot. Alright, next on the list at number 9 is Fallout 4. Now, this is one of Bethesda's most recent games, and in my opinion, if you're trying to play a Fallout game in 2024, this is probably the way to go. Sure, games like New Vegas and Fallout 3 are great, but they just haven't aged as well in my opinion. Sure, this is a pretty standard Bethesda RPG, but it's kind of the quintessential Fallout experience for a lot of people. It has interesting choices, a solid narrative, and a world that you can truly get lost in. Sure, it doesn't exactly reach the heights of something like Skyrim or Fallout New Vegas, but in my opinion, if you're just trying to jump into a Fallout game in 2024, this is kind of the way to go. At number 8, we have Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now, if you're looking for an immersive medieval RPG, this is definitely the game for you. You start off as Henry, a basic peasant who doesn't even know how to read, and you work your way up to an amazing knight who can kill basically anything in his path. The gameplay systems in this game are pretty good, but nothing too amazing. However, there is a sequel being released later this year, I believe, so be excited for that if you want to play this game. For example, the combat might feel very basic at first, however, it gets more and more advanced as you progress through the game. By the way, this game is very long. It's like over 100 hours to complete, so you can really sink your teeth into it. Also, like I mentioned, this game is getting a sequel, so you'll have something to look forward to if you beat it and want more. Alright, so number 7, I have Hades. Now, Hades could be considered a roguelike more than an RPG, however, it does have a lot of RPG elements. I really enjoyed this game when I played it for the first time 2 years ago, and I still enjoy it now. The mechanics are great, it has amazing combat, and the story is actually really superb. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. One thing that I really loved about this game that I expected to hate was the fact that every time you died, you restarted the game. Now, sure, this could be a deal breaker for some people, but for me, I actually thought it was a really interesting and cool mechanic that I'd never experienced before. And there's some things that you keep upon death, so it truly feels like you're getting better and better with each time you die and restart. This is a thing in pretty much all roguelike games, but I felt like it was implemented really well here. So yeah, Hades is a great RPG and a great roguelike game to boot. At number 6, I have Cyberpunk 2077. Now, this game may have gotten off to a rough start, but in my opinion, in 2024, it's one of the best RPGs ever made. This game was developed by CD Projekt Red, who are known for their spectacular RPGs. You play in Night City, a spectacular open world. There are also some extremely cool sci-fi elements in this game that I won't spoil in this video. And the combat in this game is nothing short of spectacular. There are many different weapons, and you can make your own build from whatever you want. This game is one of the few games where you can basically have your own custom playstyle that's different from a lot of other people. So yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 is one of the best RPGs ever made, and I would highly recommend it in 2024, especially with the DLC. Alright, at number 5, I have The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, this is one of my favorite RPGs ever made. It is from Nintendo, of all people. Now, this might sound strange, but I think this is one of the few games to give you true freedom. I say this because if you want to, the minute you get off the Great Plateau, you can go and fight Ganon if you want to. Now, obviously, you'll get destroyed, but it's the point that the game allows you to do that, which is so cool in my opinion. Yeah, there are main story missions you're encouraged to do, but you can just skip all of those and do whatever you want. You basically make your own character in this game. Link has zero dialogue, and I've heard a lot of people say this is lazy, but Link is just a shell for you to inhabit. He's what you make of him, basically. Now, this might sound shallow, but it's why a lot of people fell in love with the series. So yeah, I love this game. It's amazing, and it's definitely deserving of the number 5 spot on this list. At number 4, I have The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim. What is there to be said about this game that hasn't already been said a million times? When I played through this game a few months ago, I didn't expect much because it's pretty old, but I was shocked to find just how good it was. From the very moment you start playing, the game utterly immerses you in its world and characters. You start off riding through the cart in the mountains. You narrowly escape your execution when a dragon attacks the camp where you're being imprisoned. Then after you escape the camp, you're greeted by the beautiful world of Skyrim. The main story of this game is amazing, and I know people that haven't even beat the main story. They just did side quests and explored the open world forever. It's one of the few games where you can just completely ignore the main story and do whatever you want, and the game is just spectacular in its own right. There are many choices you can make in the main story, and it's one of the games where the side quest literally feels like the main quest. So yeah, Skyrim is still an amazing RPG 13 years later, and I think it's some of the best work Bethesda has ever done. Alright, we're about to get into the top 3, but before we do, if I could just please ask you guys to like and subscribe. Also, thank you guys so much for 2,000 subscribers. It really means a lot to me. I'm a small YouTube channel trying to go, but any support is greatly appreciated. Thanks. So without further ado, let's get back to the video. Alright, so number 3, I have Baldur's Gate 3. Now, I bet the fact that I have only placed this at number 3 has offended some people. Now, don't get me wrong, this game is amazing. Last year, it took the gaming industry by complete surprise. Everyone was talking about it and playing it, even won Game of the Year in 2023. This game is nothing short of spectacular. It's over 100 hours long, and every minute is packed with insane detail. Larian Studios really certified themselves as one of the best video game studios of all time just because of this game. Probably the only reason that I'm putting it at number 3 on the list is it's not really my type of game. I just don't really like turn-based games that much. I far prefer action-adventure games. However, I would feel absolutely stupid putting this at anything higher than number 3 just because of how much significance it has. And I still did really enjoy my 25 or so hours with the game. It's just that my slight distaste for this style of turn-based game made me want to put it down after 25 or so hours. But I am planning on giving the game a second chance. Maybe this time I'll finish it and really enjoy it. So yeah, I can see Baldur's Gate 3 is an amazing game. It's just not really my cup of tea. Alright, so number 2, I have Elden Ring. Now, I wanted to put at least one game from the Soulsborne franchise on this list, and I decided on this one. From Software went absolutely crazy with this game, turning a rather linear series into a total open world. Now, this obviously isn't a video ranking open world games, however, I thought I'd at least break it up. But I think the true highlight of this game is its combat. Now, this is a From Software game, so you're obviously going to be getting torn to shreds by the boss, but once you eventually do get that perfect run, it's going to be all the more satisfying. In my opinion, this game has some of the best bosses in gaming, period. Two things I liked about this game were the weapon variety and the fact that if you were stuck on a boss, you could just go explore the open world, which was better because you're not stuck on a boss for 4 hours without being able to do anything. So yeah, this game is super fun. Even if you're not a fan of Souls games and you're a fan of RPGs, I highly recommend giving this a try. Alright, and finally at number 1, I have The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I absolutely love every aspect about this game. I love the story, I love the open world, I love the character of Geralt of Rivia. There are a few things that I don't love about this game. Now, I know if I don't mention it now, y'all will be mentioning it in the comments. Yes, the horse mechanics are pretty bad in this game. Most of the time they're fine, but if you're riding roads through a forest, oh, forget about it. You are not getting out of there without walking on foot. But I'm hoping to fix that in The Witcher 4, which is slated for a release in 2026 or 2027. Also, one thing I didn't mention about this game is the combat, but in my opinion, it's amazing. I love the spellcasting, I love pretty much everything about it. A lot of people criticize it for being too easy, but in my opinion, it strikes a good balance between easy and hard. And yeah, I know it's not as deep as mechanically as other game combat systems, but I think it does just fine in the context of this game. So yeah, in conclusion, I absolutely love The Witcher 3. It's my favorite RPG of all time and one of my favorite video games of all time. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching my YouTube video. That was my list of the top 10 best RPG games of all time. If you disagree with my list, what would you change? What's your favorite RPG of all time? Comment down below. And yeah, I'm out guys. See you next time. Bye.